That motherfucking jab, bro. We said that shit was gonna be a problem, but that's all that art of war, baby. Deception.
Man, deception, man.
Yeah. Wait, so you're telling me that the person that he just made it look like easy work
Beat his ass.
The former champ.
Unified, yeah, former unified champ.
Wow.
There ain't much to say. Only question I really got is, do you think that stoppage was early on that main event?
Out the medicines, we've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been. I got a problem with.
Ah, man, what's good, you dirty motherfuckers and motherfuckers? What's cracking with you, man? This is another episode of the Totally Blitz Fight Recap. You young gentlemen. Motherfucking, and I'm out here. We got nothing. We got shots, smoke, and we got some motherfucking heat today. There was nothing but straight fades this weekend. You already know who I be. I'm your boy, Lil KK, aka the Don PYE, aka the People's Champion. And you already know I'm here with.
What's going on, y'all boys? It's PC, man. Oh, that boy.
What's going on, y'all boys? Sorry to cut you off, Marcus. My song was playing in the background.
This nigga funny as hell, kid. I was wondering why he had me introduce that shit.
It's y'all boys, Paul Pick'em Win'em. I had the Rocky music as boxing was lit, and we talking all the fading today.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Undisputed.
That boy. Shit, yeah, I told Marcus, instead of fuck all the structure and all that shit today. Let's just kick back. Let's just talk this Bane shit real relaxed like today. Devin Haney, Undisputed, 20. How old is that boy? 23, right?
20, yeah.
23,
24, some shit like that.
That motherfucking jab, bro. We said that shit was gonna be a problem. I ain't gonna hold Kev. I know the only reason he picked Kambosos was just because he wanted to have someone else on the other side. So I can't even gloat.
You know who was going to win.
Nah, I'm not gonna just say I picked just to be on the other side. I also felt like Kambosos had a good shot and chance to win. I just felt like once I seen his strategy, I was like, oh, you didn't come. Y'all didn't really do the research thinking understand who he was for real. Because like Devin, it wasn't a slobber knocker. It wasn't like Kambosos said in the post-fight interview, he didn't go to war. And it was still a good fight, but that's just how Devin fights. He's a very defensive, smart fighter. He's gonna last very long in this game because he does that. So like the fact that the fight went that way, the fact that he didn't come out aggressive, didn't push the pace as if like he did with Teofimo, and didn't start off coming just throwing to getting Devin uncomfortable, really showed us like, oh, okay, your strategy wasn't gonna work. If you came with a different strategy, I'd be like, hey man, I'm rocking with Brett, like blah blah blah. So I'm not just gonna say I picked just to make things interesting, because it was interesting to make things interesting. But I also thought Kambosos had a chance.
Shit, after the first couple rounds, I thought that chance was out the window. You could read the room. Like you just saw like this jab was keeping him at bay. And there was just nothing that he was doing to even close the distance or even sway the momentum of the fight into his favor, or even like this and change anything.
Right. I wasn't expecting it I kind of expected a clean sweep, but man, damn, he made that shit look easy, bro. Like, just really, Haney didn't really have to put too much effort into. All he had to do was really just work that jab and not let him land that over right hand that Kambosos loves to throw. Then he was straight, and he's seen it every time. Kambosos would load up that right hand, try to come over top with it, and Haney would see it all day, but man, Haney made that shit look like easy work.
Nah, the fight was crazy. The fight was good, but beforehand, Kambosos didn't make weight. How'd y'all feel about that?
But that's all that art of war, baby. Deception.
Man, deception, man.
Yeah, he probably just said this. He probably told himself he was on weight before.
But that's how you know that man's who says like that, bro? Man said deception.
Right. I've never even seen those two sword emoji before. When he tweeted that tweet, bro, I was like, where the fuck you find that emoji, bro? Kambosos really was worried about everything else except for Haney's jab.
That shit, me, bro.
Bro, that boy had Dame Lillard in the motherfucking locker room shaking his head like, what the fuck? Undisputed? You ain't come on, wait, nigga.
That boy had fucking Lillard fly out to Australia.
You know Lillard's mad as fuck, bro.
That's crazy.
But I mean, on the Kambosos side, like this was the best thing you could have, not like the loss, but like the fight setup was the best you could have asked for. It was in your backyard. Bill Haney couldn't come until I made a few calls to let my boy Bill in the country, and that boy Ben Davis couldn't make it to the country. So like everything was in his favor for him. I wouldn't say to win the fight, but like if you were going to win the fight, like this was the one, because like now it's gonna be Haney's choice wherever they go. Like, and that boy Haney's gonna be the truth for the next. It's so crazy because he's 23 and Stevenson I think is 23, and like them boys are both gonna be holding on to these belts I think for quite some time.
I think it's cool. I respect it to the fullest because he earned that, because he went from the email champion to the undisputed champion. Fuck y'all. So it's beautiful. But the business behind this was very interesting because you can see what Kambosos wanted to do in the first place, because he always knew he put that rematch clause in there. He was firm about that rematch clause, and immediately at the press conference he said, "Yeah, we're gonna run it back." Like he wanted to fight Lomachenko first. So Lomachenko, former pound for pound king, that's gonna sell out pay-per-views. And think about doing that in Australia, in your backyard. You're gonna get that bread. You're gonna be the champ. You was champ for 189 days. So you want, and then you got to test it, and then you can use the excuse. You can say, "Oh, at least I didn't take an easy fight. I wanted to fight the best." So then you would have got a rematch, and now you would have got two back-to-back Lomachenko fights. Win or loss, regardless, you're gonna be able to eat for the rest of your life. So like, and the fact that Lomachenko went back to his country to fight when the commissioner or commons or whatever you call the person, the liaison, whatever you call the motherfucker that tells people where they can and can't go, that motherfucker gave Lomachenko the right to actually go back to stay in boxing and fight. He didn't have to go back to Ukraine, but Lomachenko chose to go back to his duty to his people and went back. So like that's very noble. But when you look at the business behind this, it's interesting. Because how do you think the rematch is gonna go?
The same way.
I hope there is a rematch, honestly, man. I feel like it'd be kind of pointless to have a rematch. I feel like it'd be the same outcome. Haney's gonna go in there and do the same as that thing. Like it's just like honestly, it's Kambosos' end of an era, man, for him, man. Like you might see him in a couple decent fights here and there, but you won't hear too much from him.
And especially if he does reenact the rematch clause, and if it goes like how I picture the rematch going, which is same as this fight, and it's gonna be one-sided, like he ain't gonna look good, and he's just gonna fall off that ladder of like wanting to get this guy a fight. Because like Teofimo lost his belt, but like people want to see him back in the ring. Like we were waiting patiently to see him back in the ring.
Didn't he technically deny his rematch because Daz didn't hold him?
Yeah, and then and then he just like moved up and just said, "Fuck the weight class, boys. I'm out of there."
Yeah, because they originally were gonna move up after the Lomachenko fight. They weren't even gonna fight Kambosos, but they thought he was just a little stupid little mandatory
defense, something to put on your resume.
Yeah, they thought he was just gonna be a regular mandatory. They're gonna take this mandatory and move on. No, dude had little all outside the ring issues. Fucking man, I know he's sick, man. Teofimo got to be sick because Devin Haney made that shit look like easy work, and I bet if Teofimo fought Kambosos again, it would be different. I feel like Teofimo was on his worst game possible, and Kambosos was lucky that night, but that shit's crazy, bro.
But I know this fight was the biggest of the fights, but I don't think it was the best of the fights that happened.
No, not even slightly.
It was just one-sided. Haney was just done, and it got to the point where you knew the judges couldn't take it from him. Like they come those late rounds, in my opinion, at least, I was like, I haven't seen the crazy judges in boxing that like completely rob somebody blind. I'm pretty sure it happens because I know that's the biggest complaint in boxing.
Yeah,
but if I was to see Kambosos' hand raise at the end of that fight, I really would have been like, bro, there's just no way. Because my grandmother could have watched that fight and told you who won that fight easily.
Yeah, that shit. A lot of people are complaining of the slow pace, but I mean, at the end of the day, that's not Devin Haney's game. He's not gonna be the power puncher. He's not gonna go and get guys out of there quick, or he's not gonna lay it on them. Box smart. And
people hate it, but at the end of the day, you can't beat it. So,
yep.
All those naysayers can speak as loud as you want, but this kid's 23 and the undisputed champion, and probably one of the deepest divisions that I've always hear about in boxing.
Oh yeah, for sure. And he's gonna be a future 147 right there in the welterweights with Boots and all of them boys in the future. So
he's gonna Stevenson again. Teofimo. Then we had what about that boy Fulton Jr.? You just said Boots. As soon as you said Boots, I thought of Philly. And then that boy Fulton Jr. put on for Philly.
Is Fulton the best fighter out of Philly? Nah, that's fine. He's not the best, but right now, man, he's making some noise, bro.
Bruce has the hand speed. Like she just can throw so many punches in a very small area in a very, very accurate rate. Is scary. Like, I was watching his training videos and watching bro on the mitts. And he's just looking like, damn, like this motherfucker get attacked by lightning? Has he been electrocuted? Like, he looks like somebody you just plug in and he just goes.
Oh yeah, no, he's swift-footed, but I might have to throw him on that list of best switch fighters in the game, man, because I didn't know he was that smooth. Was boxing from the left, boxing from the right side, and like he's just
the outside, the inside.
Yeah, like bro, I was just like, wow, man. Like most people thought that was gonna be a brawl, and I wasn't able to watch it live. I watched the replay, but most people thought it was gonna be like a brawl or like like a little war, and Fulton was able to just keep his ass at bay and just kind of do what he want almost, and he worked his game plan perfect, man. And just to see him box from both sides, I was like, damn. I felt like you got to put him on the top 10 at least, like right down there in the 9, 10, 8 range.
He basically said, fuck the top 10, bro. He said, no, there ain't 10 people better than him. Fuck him. Like, fuck that 10. I was like, oh, okay.
Who's in his weight class? Because he has 2 of the belts. Who has the other?
The other 2, and he called him out at the end of this fight, bro. MJ Akhmadaliev, or he beat Danny Roman, who Fulton just beat, but he beat Danny Roman also in a 12-rounder to take both of Roman's belts. And this was back in 2019, I think. And like Fulton, like I said, 2020, he didn't have, or 2021, he didn't have any belts. And now has both of them. And it's like this fight is kind of been like approaching, like it's the only fight left for these boys.
Wait, so you're telling me that the person that he just made it look like easy work
beat his ass,
the former champ,
Unified, yeah, former Unified champ.
Wow, I thought he was like a mandatory that he was fighting. Like,
no, that was a good.
Yeah, because Roman wasn't no slouch. He was nice with it. You could tell he has skill.
Let me see. I know MJ has a fight. Yeah, he fights Ronnie Rios on June 25th, so it's coming up. And then after that fight, I'm pretty sure Fulton versus him is gonna for Undisputed has to be made. Fulton already called him out.
They got that for Undisputed, but I was also thinking Inoue is only at 118.
He's just 4 pounds away.
They could fight, man. Fulton versus Inoue. That would be crazy, bro.
But that's crazy to be like, how old are they? And they weigh that much? Like, that's a crazy like weight limit to make. Because like Fulton's just a small, speedy motherfucker.
His arms are so long for 122, which is so crazy. Like he, like not like some John Jones type reach, but he's just like, he's just built.
That would be interesting if Inoue can go up to 122. That would be cool. I doubt Fulton will go down. It would have to be anywhere to come up. That would be pretty interesting. But there's not that much, there's not a deep talent pool at 122 or even 118. Like, he could fight and get the Undisputed, but after that, there's not much really.
Honestly, I think he could go up though. Because what's the next weight class? 126?
Yeah, it's gonna be and there's guys there though. There's now there's a couple guys that he could get at that weight. Josh Warrington is one.
26.
Shakur's at 30.
Yeah, and Shakur's probably gonna be moving up to 135 soon.
He won a belt at 126. He got a belt at 26 and at 30.
Yo, I almost forgot though. I mean, all these fights were nice, but that boy Joe Cordina, I think I said his name right.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Shakur Stevenson, that might be his next opponent right there.
But Joe Cordina took the head off of Ogawa.
Took the fucking life out of him.
I thought it was like some later round. It was the second round when he did that.
And that was for the belt.
Yeah. And Ogawa was the champ. Like, he was defending his shit against Cordina.
Yeah, I think that was his first world title. I could be wrong though, but if that's his first world title, bro, imagine the hype after.
Shakur Stevenson, like you said, he shouted him out and called him out. He shouted him out and also said, like, hey, there's no the smoke over here. Anybody can get it type.
I bet Shakur honestly was happy to see a performance like that.
But then Shakur got 8 in the comments because when he shouted him out, he said, this is the best boxer out of England right now. No cap. Homeboy's from Wales. If you know anything about Wales and England, is like they don't really fuck with one another. So they was coming in hot on his ass, and he even apologized. He did have to say, but he was also like, "Bro, my ass ain't fucking looking at no geography maps." Like,
hey, that's funny as fuck. I didn't even know that for real, bro. That's funny.
It was during that whole time because his ass was on Twitter fucking all night during the fight.
Shakur stay on Twitter, bro. He stay on there.
That nigga funny. So how's that fight gonna go?
Shakur is just different. Shakur, like, he's just he'll make what Haney did to Kambosos, in my opinion. Just like he won't get past that jab and won't even like be able to apply his game.
Facts, bro. Devin Haney and Shakur are on like a similar boat. Like they just got such a masterful boxing skill set. Where like they're gonna give everybody problems just because their IQ, the way they can manipulate, they can, when they need to win rounds, they can win their rounds, and their IQ is different, bro. And I think that's what sets them two apart.
They homeboys too, because whenever Haney won, they posted a picture from I think the amateurs, and they both had won their belt, just smiling and cheesing together.
That shit, bro. All these guys all came up together. That's what's crazy. Like all Gervonta, Teofimo, Ryan Garcia, Shakur, Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney, all of them were in the amateurs together. That shit's crazy.
Well, how do you feel?
Those fucking national championships were probably crazy lit.
Hell yeah, bro. That shit was. They probably were all fighting each other. I'm pretty sure they have all fought each other in amateurs at least once or twice.
That's probably why Ryan be ducking so heavy. He's like, bro, I don't want to do this shit again.
I was just gonna ask you, Mark. How do you feel about the next great boxing? The next great boxer to come into boxing, Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy.
That boy said he's out of UFC and he's in the boxing world now.
Oh, the nigga that played for the Panthers.
Yeah, this is Marcus' homeboy.
I don't know, man. I don't know about all that. I mean, he might have some pop, but he look like he's gonna be stiff. He might have
all that wrestling shit, bro. Fuck all that ground shit. Let me throw these hands.
Hey, fuck all that kicking shit, bro.
That boy just want to knock people out. That's all.
Y'all remember his last fight? He was going against guys like 30 pounds smaller than him. He kept like,
nah, bro.
Get back on the floor.
That shit was horrible, bro. That shit ain't even been on the fucking main event card or like the main card, bro. That
So
shit
yeah, now he's main eventing boxing, bro. He's gonna the boxing savior is
That
here.
boy, hey, that boy,
that shit better be celebrity boxing.
he co-main evented the next Jake Paul fight.
Nah, but for real, Adrian Broner's back, baby.
Hey, that's crazy, man. Fuck it. If he could get back on his roots, I don't think
He's
He's
fine.
never gonna-
Omar Figueroa. Omar's like, everyone's 29-1 or something. He got a little record on him.
shit. I don't even care who he fights as long as he could just maybe show that he's serious again. That would be interesting.
You think Adrian Broner knocking his ass out?
I want to see. Actually, that's not the same weight class. Nah, fuck no, not no knockout.
Welterweight.
Not no knockout, but like I like him to.
He's probably gonna get the win though for sure.
I think they did some smart business, got him a good tune-up fight, so that way he could set up.
They set him up, and this jit got like a weak ass chin, and they know it, and maybe do get a knockout to make a splash, but I doubt it.
But hey, man, that's what's it called? Not that's Al Heyman. Al Heyman, them boys at Showtime.
Yeah, Al Heyman be fucking with
Yeah.
AB.
Yeah, Al Heyman might have to have a bad focus. So Al Heyman like the way he talked.
Hey, boy, that boy can't talk his ass. He'll sell that fight.
He could probably fight. He could fight Ryan Garcia after he loses the Tank.
Fuck Ryan Garcia.
Right? Do you see? I was watching. Oh yeah, I'm not apologizing, but I do gotta correct something. Rolly had to leave the ring because of the doctor. The doctor. So like he didn't just dip. He didn't just dip because he was scared, but he did deny getting talked to in the press conference. He was completely silent in his locker room, and then that's when they started talking shit at the stage, at the podium.
Man, when Tank approached his ass on that, I would have ran out the ring too, my guy. I do apologize. The demon was coming.
That boy looked like a gremlin jumping around that ring, bro. That shit looked funny. That video has me laughing every time I see it, bro.
That boy was on some other shit.
Eat that.
He was on like some real Amazon, like caught him in the jungle type.
That was the moment I was talking about, like where he ran up on him in the ring and his coach grabbed him. That shit had me laughing, bro. I'm glad someone clipped it.
Oh, when we're talking about all the greats.
But what I was saying, Ryan Garcia has some. You think there's a different breed for pulling up to that fight?
And talking shit and Ben on Rolly.
Nah, Ryan Garcia, bro, nerd to be tweeting, like calling out fighters on Twitter. But then when he had his fight at his post-fight interview and shit, when they like, who you want to call out? He said, nah, I don't want to call out no one. Like he's scary, bro. I don't understand him. He don't call out no one in his interview, but then he on Twitter talking about calling out all these fighters and who he wants to fight next. And
he literally said, I'm gonna handle this, and then after that I'll fight Tank. But Ellerby, and Leonard Ellerby don't lie.
Pull up his last fight post interview, like when they're in the ring. Well, go watch that, bro. And like he doesn't want to call out no one. He just sounds scary as fuck. Like that shit doesn't make sense. But then he go on Twitter and be calling out fighters. He's weak.
That's interesting, but that's
trend.
The Tux was sharp though. Tux was sharp, but he has some nerve. I was like, wow, that takes a lot of balls because he's supposed to be in that ring. And we all want you in that ring because we feel like that'd be a great fight.
Yeah, he's the bottom of the barrel when it comes to them 135.
How do you feel about your boy Marcus Sanders Zayas not able to fight, crying on I'm not saying crying, but
he was crying.
I'm just gonna say how it was, take it how you see it, but he was crying, he was sad he ain't gonna be able to fight, and it's
a little funny. It's a little funny because he was boo-hooing, but I mean that just shows
What
man.
happened?
What happened?
He hurt. Xander Zayas got hurt, so he can't fight. And as Marcus just said, Marcus's words, he was boo-hooing.
But when did he find out he was hurt?
I think it was just in his training camp. So like he had to take like a week, or like he had to take some time off. So like his camp probably just said, "Nah, let's just pull from the fight." But he's been fighting, bro. He fights so consistent. Like he stays active. So I mean, fuck it, bro. Cause he's gonna just fight again in like another couple months or whatever. He's gonna still get a couple more fights in before the end of the year. But the video is kind of funny, man. Dude's like, but that just shows the love he got for the sport, and that shit probably do suck. But
shows his heart. Another great. He's on the same pedestal as Shakur Stevenson and Haney and all them boys. He's just a little younger. But that doesn't mean Berlanga better put on a show, boy. All them lights are on him now, because that boy he looked pathetic in that last fight. So he better put on a show. That's all I'm saying, bro. There ain't no more Sanders Zayas to help silence the crowd.
Berlanga, he probably fucking was pissed off. Like, damn, I gotta carry this shit by myself, man.
Then there was something else too. What was it? 1 second. It was him not being able to fight. Oh, and he's not the only one that can't fight. This is actually just recently. Charlo, his fight that was coming up in the next week or two just got postponed because of a back injury against Metsu Sulecki.
I hope they just cancel that fight, bro.
They called it a stay busy title fight. I have never seen something like, and it was a reporter from, like, I was like, wow, like I never heard that guy's name. And then when they said stay busy title fight, when they put it in those parameters, I was like, damn, that kind of tells me all I need to know.
Nah, bro. I keep seeing people on his ass about that shit. Like, cause I forgot who it was. There was a fight that he should have made. I can't think of the name right now. I'm not even gonna try to say it because I don't want to be wrong, but like, bro, come on. Like, there's way better competition, and especially in the division he's in, than that guy. So it's like, come on.
Yeah, well, Charlo, I guess, got a back injury on his camp. So they're postponing the fight. Like you said, and like a lot of people on the community says on Twitter, is like, just postpone that. Not postpone, just cancel that fight, bro. We don't want to watch you beat the fuck out of this guy.
Yeah, bro, he's an undefeated, like, he's just gonna go in probably there and flush this dude. Like, it's just gonna be a waste of time. And you're gonna have to wait for this man,
Stop ducking Benavidez.
Him versus Benavidez?
Yeah.
They won't make a fight. They won't.
Hey, stop ducking Benavidez.
Stop ducking my boy Benavidez, bro.
Everyone's gonna duck Benavidez until, like, I don't know, bro. Maybe Caleb Plant is gonna do it, but
I like Plant to get out there.
But Plant moved up some of my rankings on favorite boxer with just that tweet when he said, hey, bro, he let Haney win them belts. Art of War, deception. I thought, like, he was clowning Kambosos. I was just like, that was best tweet of the night, bro.
Hey, art of deception, man. He funny as fuck for that.
So Charlo and Zayas both fights got postponed.
You know what's something interesting about Haney's camp that they talked about? They said he had a nutritionist. So he said he didn't really have to he didn't have to put a sauna suit at all or go hit the sauna at all during this camp. He just kept working out and kept eating healthy. And they came to – and you seen how good he looked. So but he's like the second fighter I've heard do that, especially like the bigger fighters at their weight, like him, Errol Spence. Is this
Canelo
like
has a nutritionist, I know.
Yeah, he was talking about that for when he lost to B-Ball. But
I thought fighters should have a nutritionist.
Is this the new way? Because like if people, I remember watching 24/7 and seeing Floyd eating fucking Big Macs and shit outside of a yoga class and shit. So like, is this the new wave of niggas figuring shit out so they can stay in their weight classes longer?
Right, that and just mainly probably with the weight movement, but having a nutritionist is probably the best thing you could do as a fighter. The UFC fighters should be doing the same thing too. Just to have, like, where you put in the right fuel in your body, and like there's certain foods you got to be eating to recover, to help your body recover. A lot of people don't understand that stuff, and like, if you got someone professional just cooking for you, bro, come on, man. Bro, any world
all those nutritionists help you until it's dog eat dog. Then that shit don't help you, bro.
Hey,
you talking about AB?
No, I won't talking AB. I'm just speaking. I'm just saying, bro. That shit ain't gonna help you when it's dog eat dog.
You know, so you thinking nigga can eat a piece of, you can pat eat or bad eat that bitch, get fat as fuck as you want, as long as you make the weight
As
you
long
Gucci.
as I think nutritionists help everybody, but at the same time, if you really like that, like a Floyd, if you top of your craft, like top, you can do that. Like that. That's why you see the pad, like, because you do have 8 to 10 weeks to work it. It's not like a football where you have to be like every week on Sunday we gotta play.
The only thing crucial though is like when like fighters have to go through a fat camp where like that first 3 weeks is just about shredding the weight down.
Running.
Start the real camp where you guys actually start working on stuff, and that that's the only bad where like I always hear people getting on boxers when they got to go through they call it fat camp. So then you gotta shred off that little extra couple pounds, and then you start really
A little chunky.
yeah.
I'm
Nah,
not saying cuts. Maybe cutting
I
like
don't.
30 pounds some camps.
That shit don't make sense.
Well, shit. Over on the UFC world, there ain't much to say. Only question I really got is, do you think that stoppage was early on that main event?
So first, let's talk about what happened.
Volkov versus Rosenstrike. If you weren't there, UFC.
It was a great 2 minutes and 12 seconds. I appreciated that. Like, I was able to watch the fight and go straight to doing what I needed to do before the next fights. So it was cool that they threw a lot of hands, and Fulton was really just way better. Like the class, the gap in skill was like this. So like there wasn't much. Bro was kind of doing from the beginning. There wasn't much he could really do in that situation. But I shot him out to keep throwing in the pants. But how do you feel about the stoppage? Was the stoppage early?
I didn't think it was early in live time, just because in the moment. But when Volkov was walking up to him with that hand that's like right here, that's cocked, I was like, oh, like he's about to land something. Like he's just like laser focused. As soon as he caught that chin and he just legs gave out, he fell back. He just went into that cover position. I do know typically refs will say, hey, like, do something. I need you to do something or else I'm calling the fight. So you kind of get that warning. I'm not sure if it happened, but live time, soon as I saw that buckle, I thought the fight was over. And then he didn't like defend himself for about like 7 seconds, which is like it's crucial. Like it's make or break for refs. So like it's like either I call it or I don't. If I don't, it might look bad. If I call it, it might look bad. But I would have called it also. Yeah, looking back at it, the fight probably could have went on because Rosenstrike did look like he recovered from, like, as soon as he put his arms down, he looked like a different person. He like as soon as he stood up, I was like, oh yeah, he looks fine. Like he could have fought for another couple minutes. But in the moment, he did not look like he was fine to me.
I thought it was just funny because like I'm watching season 21 of The Ultimate Fighter, where it's Jim versus Jim. And so one of the fights, this dude Jason Jackson versus Michael Graves. And Jason Jackson is fucking dude up for a good minute and a half. Just Michael Graves is, don't, I'm sorry. Like just sitting there getting a crap beat out of him. Everybody, even both owners said like, damn, I'm shocked the fight didn't get stopped, but it didn't. So after just getting his ass whooped, he admitted maybe 2 minutes. It was really close to 2 minutes. Just please don't hit my face. And like it turns in she gets a reversal, goes back door, and then he taps him out in like 30 seconds. But it was funny because I watched that, and then in the end of the season, in the season finale, there's a fight where they're fighting and they stop the fight. But dude, when they stopped the fight, bro was literally like had a single leg on him. So it was like, damn, that was an early stoppage. And then the next fight I see is that fight where the stoppage was early. I think it doesn't matter because I think it can go either or. Because I didn't think I thought the stoppage was early in real time. But like, I don't think the outcome would have been any different. I still think it would have been a first round stoppage.
What about you, Mark? Did you catch the main event for the UFC?
Yeah, I fucking flipped the app on, bro. That shit was about to start. That shit ended quick as fuck. But
Accidentally blinked, and it's half the fight and shit.
hey, I don't know if I'm wrong about this, but I feel like you don't see a lot of those controversies like early stoppages in UFC. Like I feel like I see them a lot in boxing, but UFC, I feel like I always feel like see the ref like I'd be like, damn, they still letting him go. Like I don't know if I'm wrong about that, but that was like one of my first moments where I seen like where people are arguing if like the stoppage was early or not. Like I see like how y'all see it like that. If you really look at it, I mean, yeah, the ref could have let it keep going, but it would have been the same outcome. He wasn't going to be able to bounce back really, but
it was so split that we tweeted out a poll at totally_blitz. 105 votes, 50-50, right on the head.
That's crazy.
It's honestly just one of those like personal opinions, really. But if you really break the fight down, like the action, you could have like it should have been stopped because I mean he's not really gonna do nothing right in that moment. He wasn't showing nothing at least.
Well, Volkov after getting the dub, like no matter what, you can't go back and change it. So like he got the dub, they're gonna treat it like he got the dub. So he's gonna go on. They brought up, hey, do you want to fight Derek Lewis again? He said nah. He's already fought Derek Lewis, but he said nah. He'd rather fight Cyril Gahn, who he's already fought before. And Cyril Gahn just kind of wiped the floor with him on the stand-up game. So it was kind of shocking he even called him out.
Trying to get his get back.
I think he said, okay, she got an early stoppage. Now he feeling himself. He's like, yeah, nigga, I can stand up too now. Fuck you.
That boy trying to spin the block.
For real, yeah. He's like, hey, bro, you beat old Volkov. New Volkov ain't like that.
New Volkov.
New Volkov, dangerous. New Volkov, violent.
Yeah, and if he gets that dub, like if he really goes and beats him, that would really shake up the heavyweights. Because then we have a situation where he beats Gahn and Gahn beats everyone in the division, but then Aspinall has beat him. So then it's just like, where are you ranking everybody at this point? Because he's already, like I said, he's always been top 5 ever since I watched the UFC. He's always been a top 5 heavyweight, but never higher, never lower.
Just that dude.
And nobody's beating Ngannou.
Besides,
he hasn't re-signed with the UFC. He's just been kind of holding the belt.
He's not. That boy's done with the UFC forever.
We don't know what's up with that, because if he's really done for real, then like someone should be fine for the heavyweight belt. But like he's been kind of, I won't say stalling, because he's on like a whole fuck Dana White, they're trying to hold me campaign, and like
he's gonna have no choice. There's no way they're gonna give him the money that he wants.
Yeah, that's why he's been talking about boxing, because his contract's coming out.
But it is kind of fucked up because they did give fucking guys like Jorge Masvidal, but I mean he is a pay-per-view job, but you giving guys like the Style Bender, like they gave them big contracts. So, I mean,
they just know how to put boots in seats, man. They know.
I want to say Ngannou asked for something along the lines of like, it's either two numbers, either $500,000 per fight, which Dana White wasn't going for, or it was $250,000 per fight. But I can't remember which number it was, but both. I just remember Dana White wasn't going for the number that he was requesting, because he was just like, "You're asking." For
I thought his last fight he got. I thought his last fight he got like 600,000.
That's probably with the pay-per-view buys, because they get the percentages off the pay-per-view.
Oh, so you're saying 500,000?
I could be wrong. It might have been 2 million or some big ass number. But I just remember
he got to be trying to ask for.
He was just asking for some crazy ass number. I don't know what's the number, but I just remember it was some crazy number. And then
he should be asking for at least a couple mil, bro. In reality, it should be a couple mil.
That was like, I want to say almost like probably a year ago by now. Maybe like 10 months ago. I can't even remember his last real fight, because it's been a minute, because he's hurt himself.
His last UFC fight.
I remember watching his last fight. I remember watching this shit was crazy. But he's injured right now technically, so he had to get surgery. He's doing like a Whitaker right now. So I feel like they should throw an interim belt out there.
No, that's probably what they will do. But I don't know if he'll take the fight because at the end of the day he has to like sign the contract for the fight. So I think he's on this whole because it's not him. When I say him, Nagano, it's Nagano's team. It's the people that are doing all the paperwork and stuff. Like they're throwing out the numbers they want because they feel like their star is worth so much. But Dana White, fighter pay, blase. Like we could really go in for like 40
Hit my
minutes on that
dog
one
Jake
concept,
Paul
but like.
line. Hit my boy Jake Paul.
And yeah, it's people like Jake Paul that would be in those like Nagano team here because I know I've seen pictures of them together. Like I know there's like times where they like big fight moments and shit. So like you never know who's talking in whose ear because everyone remembers Fedor Emelianenko, the greatest heavyweight of all time, considerably never fought in UFC just because his team thought he was worth way more and wanted like stuff from Dana, and Dana ain't going for that, boy. Dana rules with that iron fist, and he keeps motherfuckers in line.
That shit sucks though when you looking at like guys like Tyson Fury getting like almost 50 mil and shit. So I mean, I see where he's like, man, fuck Dana White. But I get it also from Dana White's perspective because he does have to pay everybody in that company and like. But I mean, he pays the fucking employees more. You know what I'm saying?
And
so,
just be straight up with you, like, go fight a Bellator.
Yeah, be like, hey, bro.
That's what you want to do.
Look
I
at
got hella fucking talent, dude.
But you have like so many fights on your contract. So until you finish that, you ain't going nowhere. And that's exactly how Dana be doing business, bro. He's a Vince McMahon in that motherfucker once you put those names on that dotted line.
Hey man, he's suited up. That's why he's at where he's at, though. Can't complain.
But yeah, no, that's what like Nagano. But yeah, Volk, and then the first fight. I don't know how long you were watching it, Kev, but we were in the chat at the same time talking about the Lucas Almeida fight.
Oh yeah, that's
right before the co-main. Bro, Marcus, them boys were boxing, like just ducking.
He put some.
I might have to go back in the app and run it back. Then I have the app where I could go watch the undercard again.
But I'll send you the clip that I tweeted of like the TKO. He literally is like in the pocket throwing, and then like bob weave, throw another one, knocks, and then drops him, and then
I think I did see the clip that you sent.
I was like, ooh, like I don't, and that was his first UFC fight. And that's a way, like, that's definitely a way to make a splash on your debut.
That's how you do it.
Let's see. Well, other than that, we have one fight that hasn't happened yet. Yeah, Inoue versus
Donaire.
Yeah, I didn't want to mess up his name because I definitely wasn't gonna say Donaire. But that's happening at like 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning type.
I think his projected walk time is gonna be 8 though. But it's crazy. I clock in at work at that time. I'm gonna have to literally be on my phone while clocking in because I'm gonna have to watch that one.
I'm definitely setting an alarm. There's a rematch. The fight of the year of 2019 was their first fight. And then Donaire went out, got 2 dubs, and now he's back.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was gonna be up. I was gonna be like up while like doing my homework type shit. Oh, I might actually like really get up and watch this one then.
It should be worth it. I mean, I don't know if it'll repeat the first fight because Donaire, he is an older fighter. He's more of a
39, I think now.
Yeah, he's a legend though. He's definitely a legend at that weight class and stuff. But especially for the smaller fighters. But, I mean, he is an older fighter. He fucked up Inoue's face. So, I mean, I feel like Inoue is going to try to get his get back, man, and try to maybe go for a knockout, maybe try to put him out and, silence all that talk because he's still a top 3 pound-for-pound fighter.
Yeah, I'm riding the Inoue train just because of how high people keep putting him and just the highlights I've been seeing of this little, like, a $125 motherfucker who just be putting people's lights out.
The way he can work his combination and then have that same power in each hand and hit you with combinations, like nah, bro, he is different. I was asleep because I'm usually most people are gonna look at those little weight classes and be like, man, fuck that. But when you really watch this guy's fight, bro, like that shit is fucking fun to watch.
Nah, this is gonna be fire. I'm actually gonna tune into this one now. I'm fighting. But hey, no cap, we're about to get out of here though. But like for the Devin Haney Kambosos, was it me or was that build up just nice? Like I had chills waiting for that shit to come through.
You talking about on the fight night or like the promos they're cutting
On
prior?
On the fight night when they're in the locker room getting ready, even like when they call each other name, Devin Haney talking about some like I was in that bitch like, God damn, these boys know how to sell a fight.
See, I couldn't find a stream to work until the motherfuckers were in the ring, so I can't even speak on that.
That shit was too lit, man. I had that bitch giving me chills. I was like, if this is what this fight feel like, I can't wait for Spencer Crawford.
Oh nah, brother. Spencer Crawford fight's like gonna be a whole another fucking level, bro. The walkout, the lead up to that, bro. That's gonna be like,
and then the following month it will be Triple G and Canelo.
That one's gonna. I think that's gonna be a bigger fight than like the Wilder and Fury. Like that one had a lot of build up from when they're about to walk to the ring. Man, Crawford and Spence, bro. People are gonna be glued to the TVs for that one.
I'm not gonna lie, I have been spoiled. I will say that this is my first year watching boxing.
Bro, this might be one of the best years in boxing history, bro.
Hey, bro. I don't. Maybe Dana White put that pressure on boxing, made him make all these super fights, bro.
Hey,
Everyone
no
wants
cap,
to see
man. Boxing might be outweighing UFC so far, 2022.
I might co-sign it until I see this pay-per-view this week coming.
Yeah, like I mean, UFC still got hella months. There's still 6 more months or whatever. But boxing, bro, I haven't seen a year like this in a long time to see young prospects like that. We've been waiting to shine. They're doing what they're doing. All these unification bouts, everyone going for the 4 belts, people fighting undisputed, or you know what I'm saying? Like that shit is
jumping weight classes to fight other champs.
Pound for pound lists keep changing. Everyone's arguing who's pound for pound, who's top 5, who's top 10, man. Every week is different. Every month, bro, we about to get Usyk versus Joshua 2. Then you're going to get Canelo, Triple G 3. And then you're going to get Errol Spence Crawford, bro. That is insane to even hear out loud, bro. Like, come on. All in 1 year.
With all the cards we already had, Canelo Bivol with the huge Canelo upset. Spence Ugas for the unification. Fucking
Shakur Stevens. Yeah, man. Oh,
Charlo versus Castano for unification.
Even the women boxing.
Fight of the year, Taylor.
Toronto and Taylor. Fedora and fucking Hammer, Lubin.
Well, cheers to that, and cheers to boxing, bro, because this podcast has been hella lit as we've been hitting them all. And stay tuned because we're going to continue to hit them all. Kev, take the big tote. I've got my big shot poured up.
My big shot.
This has been Totally Blitzed Podcast Fight Club. Kev's bong broke.
Yeah, I think it's time to get a new bong, homies. But hey, man, fuck what you heard, yo.
Problem with being problem